For the nation's industrialists, the initiative held out very bright promises for the revival of their operations that had for many years suffered serious setbacks due to the lack of access to long-term fund at reasonable interest rates. Short-term commercial bank debt was the bane of these industries, which was serviced at double-digit interest rates.
You know, the former bank, I think the interest was in the range of 20-something% or something like that. The Bank of Industry really has done what they should be doing by investing, by assisting industry to grow. The fact that the interest rate is even very reasonable, very minimal, 7%, I think. If you look at, if you've been to the factory, you will see that most of the machinery there are new. They are pretty 2 years old. We are owing on them, but because of this facility given to us by Bank of Industry has really helped us tremendously. We were able to buy back debt from the previous bank we were dealing with, and also invest tremendously into the system.
Before the intervention, this company have been going on a lot of threatening. We have been working for the bank, the commercial bank. You know, the major problem we have in this country is commercial bank, because we are working for them. All the margin we make at the end of the month, everything, lost 90% or 80% of the margin we make is go on their own interest payment. And when the intervention comes, increasing our capacity from 40% to 70%, and making our company to be having a steady, smooth operation.
The accelerated completion of this facility will not have been possible if not for the nature of the funding package that we got under this structure. The structure of which has addressed headlong the issues that manufacturing concerns are facing with regards to long-term funding needs at considerable interest. Let the critics know that this is one package that has worked for us, and we are sure it will work for more beneficiary institutions as we go down the line. We know that it behoves on us as beneficiaries of this package to do our own part by providing feedback to the policymakers and implementing agents of the program that it is not only effective, it addresses real issues, and the implementation process is well thought out. We will therefore call on other beneficiaries to come forward with their testimonies like ours as a form of feedback and encouragement to the policymakers.
With those comments from the chief promoter of SUPERFLUX Nigeria Limited, the wet creation crew embarked on a journey around the country to sort the views of some of the beneficiaries of the intervention fund. Our first stop was at RAGOLIS Water Company Limited, which is situated at Ikorodu in Lagos State. What impact has the CBN intervention fund had on your business?
Production-wise, we were able to boost our production. Our productivity has increased, has improved, better than what we were doing before. So the amount actually has helped in actually reducing. You know, when you have volume, your cost of production goes down. We're able to actually reasonably reduce our cost of production by investing into, we have raw materials, we have this, we have the machinery, we have the people. So we are very okay.
What do you think would have happened to your business before the CBN intervention?
Well, thank God we are not dead yet. And thank God, thank Bank of Industry. Because look at what's happening in the country. A lot of industry are dead. And if you look seriously into our line of industry, we produce water, spring water. RAGOLIS, being one of the pioneers, has been the most consistent in the industry. Not only producing water, producing good quality water. If Bank of Industry have not been able to assist us, definitely our productive capacity will be down. A lot of people will lose their job. A lot of things will happen. And the fact that we have that money, we're able to invest to improve our capacity.
How much of your revenue was going into servicing your commercial bank debts, and at what interest rate before the CBN intervention fund?
Frankly speaking, major part of the money was going to service it. Because no matter what, by a certain date of the month, they will have to take their interest. I mean, the part of the money they owed us. And we will keep running towards making that. Over half of our revenue is going to servicing the commercial loan, commercial bank loan.
Hitherto, how many staffs were in your establishment and how many are they now?
Before the intervention, we have about 80 something staff, 80 staff. But right now we have about over 100 staff. At the same time, the facilities given to us, if we are able, if BOI, right, Bank of Industry, really wants to do it, they could give us more money for us to be able to expand. In fact, we have rooms for expansion.
Where do you source your raw materials from?
Well, you see, the major raw material in the water industry is the PET, the bottle. The PET is produced overseas. They were imported from either India or China or South Korea. And unfortunately, the LMA has not started production of PET. If there is a company in Nigeria that is doing it, fine, it could have been very good. But the price, we have to go with the price of plastics. You know, PET is more or less the major source of plastics these days. And the price is going up internationally.
What is the market like for your product?
Look, we have over 1,000 companies producing water. And you see that it is not yet enough. The capacity, we have to improve on our productive capacity to be able, expand. We have depots almost all over the country. Port Harcourt, Enugu, Abuja, Kano, Kaduna. And there's always demand for water, for good water. You see, because the circulation is not enough. You see people, a lot of companies producing all kind of rubbish water, and people buy. But what the government has to do is to make sure that whoever wants to go into the business, they make sure they are producing good water, not just water. But a country with about 150 million people, they need water to drink. Good water, not just water. And RAGOLIS is the best.
In what ways do you think the intervention can be improved upon?
For any industry to grow, there must be some fund for it to grow. To expand the facilities, you need some fund. To buy raw materials, you need some fund. To even maintain, you need some fund. If industries can, instead of going via the commercial banks, can come directly to the Bank of Industry for loan. You see, definitely we need loans for expansion. This one, we were lucky, we already got the loan from one of the commercial banks. But if in case we need to come to you directly, to approach you, to settle, to sit down and discuss it. This is our plan, this is our plan. Our way forward for expansion is this. You sit down with us, we reason together. I believe it will be better than me going through any commercial bank.
From Ikorodu, we traveled to Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, where we were received by the management of KAM Industries Nigeria Limited. The company is wholly indigenous, producing wire products such as umbrella nails, copper nails, British reinforcement concreter, mesh wire, binding wire, and a lot more. What do you think would have happened to your business before the CBN intervention?
When I must tell you that without that CBN intervention, let's look at it in this way. Somebody make a 10,000 naira as a margin, at the end of the day, the bank collecting a 9 naira as a loan repayment. What future that company has? There's no future. Because all what you work for go to someone else, simply because of loan repayment. But after intervention, you can imagine, the repayment of 9 naira was dropped to 3 naira. The remaining 6 naira is a reserve for the company. Even if the company was going on an expansion, you can use that one to be a loan repayment for an expansion that can make the company to generate more employment.
What effect did the intervention fund have on your staff strength?
Before the intervention, our company have about almost 251 staff. And when the messiah of the intervention of CBN came and the BOI came, at least we were able to get more employment, and presently now we're about getting to 400 now.
Where do you source your raw materials from?
When raw material was sourced from abroad, and presently, already before the global meltdown, we have been making a lot of feasibility study. Like in Nigeria, we have no machine that we are calling cold rooming machine. This cold rooming machine is the machine that produces raw material for the steel industry, for the roofing sheet industry. And before the global meltdown, we have been having a plan of bringing this technology to Nigeria. The people that was fortunate to get the foreign loan, they are starting their own ever before the global meltdown. And when the global meltdown come and they are affecting our industry, before the CBN was being a messiah to us, at least we have been, after the intervention, we revisited our feasibility study to make sure that we achieve this the machine in Nigeria, so that we can be able to produce our raw materials locally instead of importing.
In what ways do you think the intervention can be improved upon?
I commend the effort of the present governor of CBN for the exposure and the enlightenment and the talent that they have, and with the entire management of CBN, by putting it together to realize how to save a lot of industry, most especially a indigenous company in Nigeria, who does have access to go abroad and source for the cheap loan fund in abroad. You see, I'm one of the Nigeria who was having a privilege to be an investor in China. I see how the Chinese government are unable to be, putting all the effort to assist their country through their CBN and the Bank of Communication, Bank of Industrial Bank of China, and Bank of China, and all those things. You see, major problem we have in Nigeria, so many people out there was talented to be a manufacturer, but there's nowhere you can get from. For example, we have a project that we want to do. This project cost us about $20 million. We went to the SM Bank of India. The SM Bank of India was saying that, we have $100 million for the Nigeria, and all the line will be utilized. And by investigating, this line was utilized by their people, and it was put aside for the Nigeria economy. Tell me, how a Nigerian man cannot be able to benefit out of this money? And the whole money was benefited by their people. We went to the SM Bank of the US, given on the condition that we must buy the machine from the US. Whereas we have a SM Bank in Nigeria, which we cannot be able to get the loan to access there. We want to urge the CBN, by the understanding, by the knowledge, by the knowledge they have, that they put that together, save the debt industry for this intervention. If they can have in a program under the BOI, at least for anybody who have a genuine project, that it can be financed by CBN. It will be better for a genius company in Nigeria, so that we can be able to transfer the technology from abroad down to Nigeria.